Hey everyone, it's Paul Hamilton here from UTV. I hope you're going to love this as much as I have creating it. So it's something that's really dear to my heart, some beautiful visuals, some beautiful music and compositions. And this is coming from someone that doesn't have a musical bone in their body. So everyone can do this. Let's jump into this. We're going to jump into GarageBand first, free app for iPad. And we're going to create a new composition and we're going to use keyboard and we're going to use the bottom one here, Alchemy synth, so it gives me a little bit of space vibes. And we're going to create something here. First of all, we'll do a couple of things. We're going to change this bit here to pitch, just so that you can see what I'm pressing on, but you can play around with this. There's some really nice elements that you can play around with. We're going to do a little Superman. I'm going to go with soft here. We're going to do a little Superman kind of Hans Zimmer. Now you can play around with the different tones and the different areas, but I'll just basically give you the chords and what we're pressing to create this kind of atmospheric mood that we're going to do. We'll turn off some of these things up here. The main thing is up the top here at the plus. We just want to go to our section A bars and we want to turn on automatic just so that it's not restricted to a certain length. So that's one of the key elements. And then we're just going to have a play. So we'll have a play with some of these chords. We'll start with C. So if you can turn on your chords here, once again, I am terrible at music, but I've learnt this because I wanted to. So hopefully I can teach you. So we're going to go with these ones. So you're kind of counting with the C3 here going over to our fourth and then our fifth and so on. So it's basically just repeating that and then ending on that C4 area there. So what that'll do is it'll give us that Superman Hans Zimmer, very, very simple sequence, but we can kind of mix that up a little bit. So if we went the other way, instead of uplifting, it's going to be a little bit more reflective, kind of a down type mood. So if I go these two, and then we go inwards and we go towards C3, then we've got that element there as well. Now take your time in between your presses, have a bit of a practice. If you've watched Man of Steel and you're familiar with some of Hans Zimmer's beautiful soundtracks, this will be a treat. So just have a play with those. And then what we're going to do is we're going to press record and record this. So it'll give us a little bit of a 1, 2, 3, 4 in. So we're just repeating that process as we go along. And after our final one, we're just going to hit the red record button and stop it. So we'll stop that. We'll kind of rewind or we'll listen to it back. That is sounding absolutely brilliant. We love that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to export that after we've finished listening to it. And we're going to bring it into Canva and see if we can create a really powerful visual that might go with that soundtrack. So we might stop that. We'll just bring that back to the start. And then we'll top left-hand corner, we'll go back to our gallery page. We'll do a long press on that file, a long press with our finger, and then we'll go to share. And then what we'll do there is we'll save that as a song. We might just go with medium quality and keep that file size down a little bit. And then we could airdrop it to our Mac, or we could do a range of different things and share it with others, but we're just going to save that to files because we're going to work with that file when we jump into Canva. So we might call it something that is recognizable, but it will definitely go to our recents, so we should be able to find it pretty easily when we're adding it to our Canva beautiful AI image generation going forward. So as you're doing this, I want you to try and think of a visual. So what we're going to do there is we're going to save that. We might just jump into files. Why don't we jump into files quickly? Just double check that it's there. So we'll just drag our finger down. We'll search for files. We don't want the truffle of trees. That's fine. There it is, Hans Zimmer music. We could listen to that. It comes through beautifully that you could use it in a range of different other applications actually. But we've got this beautiful Hans Zimmer kind of style Superman uplifting kind of music that we want to create a visual with. So why don't we do that now? So what we'll do is we'll jump into Canva and we'll create a presentation so that I can kind of dictate how long this slide is. And we'll just go straight up and we will go straight to our elements. Now that's where our AI image generator is here. And we're going to come up with a visual that goes with that soundtrack. So the soundtrack is actually the inspiration. So I might bring my files up on a split screen or a preview screen here and just listen to it one more time because it's my inspiration. Okay, what's coming to your mind? My mind is coming to a bit of a reflective kind of a space because we know that Hans Zimmer also did Interstellar. So he's got some of that kind of music coming through. So I'm going to go to a style that I love, which is concept art. I'm going to go with a landscape. And then in the AI image prompt, I'm going to type something that's coming to my mind through that inspiration of music. So I might say a girl and her dog maybe sitting looking up at the night sky. Now, the more detail you put in this, the better. If you've seen my other tutorials, you'll know that you can layer content and remove backgrounds. We won't go into that too much today. Let's just go with a girl and her dog. Yep, looking up at the night sky, and we might generate that. Now, as that's going, can I just say from a teacher's perspective, this is where AI is not doing the work for you, but can be really a great literacy prompt. So what I am going to do in a minute is look at how long this slide goes for, but have a look at that. We've got some beautiful imagery that I think goes with that composition that we just created. So let's take a look at maybe, we might go with this top left one. So when I click on that, it's going to come onto my blank canvas. I'm going to drag my anchor point out, but oh no, it doesn't fill up. And I don't want to drag it out because I'm going to miss bits. So I'm going to go up to Edit. I'm going to go to my Magic Studio and I'm going to go to Magic Expand. This is my favorite tool. I'm going to click on Whole Page, and then when I go down the bottom, I can Magic Expand that. That means that it predicts what might be in that gap and it's going to fill up my canvas size. Now, this is absolutely brilliant for other applications like creating posters and a range of different things that you don't have the right image size. It also works with your photos. Have a look at this. Now, I'm not sure about that one. That didn't really, no, I don't like the look on that right bit there. Oh, that's looking really good. It's kind of filled it out beautifully. So I'm going to press done. I've filled up my scene here. And my final step, I think, or my second last step, is going to my uploads, going over to my audio, and then going to upload files and choose the file, not the photo, of where my Hans Zimmer inspirational music is. So I'll click on that to upload it to Canva. So that should be sitting there. And then all I need to do is drag that directly onto my presentation. So that's looking really good. So I'm going to drag that over. Now here's the problem. My audio might not go for the same length. So I'm going to click on duration. And then I'm going to click on my time, 5.3 seconds, and extend out how long that first slide goes for so it reaches. Now, it looks like it still might be cut off, so I'm going to raise that a little bit more. I might raise it up to, say, 20 seconds. And now you can see that the audio file finishes before the end of the clip, which is kind of what I want. I'll double check. Yep. So I want to make sure that my beautiful music composition is not cut off. So I can listen to that back. I might draw that back and listen to it with my image. That's sounding really good. But it's a little bit static. I actually want some movement. So I'm going to do one last thing. We're going to create some kind of moving stars and a little bit of motion to keep our audience interested. So I'm going to go up to my elements. I'm going to type in stars. And a little bit tip from me, if you go up here to my filter of stars, you can actually look for animated areas. Now, because it's going to be white, it might be hard to see. I might go with this one. Which one will I go for? This one here. So when I click on it, yep, that's all good. Keep current. Look at that. I've got some beautiful kind of almost like fireflies, really. They don't really look like stars, but it's kind of like a nice effect. It gives my composition a little bit of interest that goes with my music. So I've got my dog and the girl just staring beautifully at this kind of all of the hope and dreams and all the things that she might go through in her life, dreaming about what might be, which is a fantastic kind of thing to think about as we go forward. I'm going to go up to share. Let's make sure, down the bottom here, if I click on my audio file, 3 dots, I can go to my volume, my audio settings, and I might just fade out a little bit so it's not abrupt at the end. My audio file. And then what I'll do up the top here is I'm going to share that, put it all together, render it all together by going to my Save As, and it's definitely not a PDF. it's going to be a movie file. My MP4 video, because I want the music, I want the animation, I want that all beautifully put together in a beautiful composition that I've created the music myself with a little bit of instruction, but I've also got this beautiful visual that I think is what I'm feeling that music was all about. This would be a great activity for students to do, seeing what they come up with when they listen to music. And it could be existing music, it could be their own compositions, it could be rap music, it could be anything. I'm going to save that video once I'm prompted, and then hopefully in my photos I've got my finished product. Let's have a look and see what we've got. We'll turn the audio on, make sure our audio's on our photos. Oh, I love that. So it's kind of brought everything together beautifully. It's got my students creating their own compositions and playing around with GarageBand, which I know my students love. And then I'm starting to think about Canva and how we can utilize that to bring some visuals in with that beautiful music composition. This is Paul Hamilton here for Using Technology Better.